Now, more stories, insights, and analysis of Illinois policy and politics. This is Illinois Rising, presented by the Illinois Policy Institute. Once again, your host, AM 560's Dan Proft.
Dan Proft back with Hillary Gowans, Director of Content Strategy for the Illinois Policy Institute. And Hillary, it's been an interesting response from the city of Chicago to the share economy, to entrepreneurial capitalism. The response is we don't much care for it, which is an odd position to take for a city that is suffering double-digit unemployment and is functionally bankrupt. You think you want more economic activity. But when it comes to those entrepreneurs, those small businesses that the political class pretends to care so much about, if you're a food truck operator or you want to rent out your home through a share portal like Airbnb, not so friendly, Chicago.
Right. I think as much as Chicago wants money because it's so broke, it wants the right kind of business activity, meaning the politicians in office in City Hall want to make sure that their friends and their donors are happy. So it's interesting that restaurants and groups affiliated with them, they gave campaign donations of $180,000 to Chicago aldermen in 2015. That's just one chunk of money. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes. But as far as
and that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but you have to factor in how cheap aldermen's souls are to purchase.
Yes.
So this is more than enough to purchase much of the city council.
Right. And with an issue like food trucks, some people might look at that and think, well, I don't work in the loop. I don't go to food trucks. I pack my lunch, maybe. But the larger issue that should concern people is not whether or not they like food trucks. They should care about a person's freedom to start up a business or a consumer's ability to choose what kind of business they want to support. Like you said, not only are food trucks being attacked, Airbnb is being attacked, Uber has been attacked numerous times. These are services that people love.
And now the food trucks, the battle has been joined. Institute for Justice, which is a public interest law firm, has taken up their cause, and we're looking at perhaps some judicial action with respect to food trucks and their ability to operate in the city in the first part of December.
Right. So December 5th, it's expected that a Cook County Circuit judge is going to rule on the Institute for Justice's lawsuit. This could affect the types of rules that you see in Chicago. So right now, some of the biggest issues in the city for food truck operators is that they can't operate within 200 feet of a brick and mortar business that sells food. That's not only like the Paneras of the world, that's also CVS because they sell chips and bottled water or whatever. Other issues are food trucks have to have GPS monitors so the city can track what they're doing and where they're going.
Oh, sure.
And
that's not Orwellian.
Right. That's not creepy at all. And then the other big issue is that these food trucks have to move every 2 hours, which if you talk to any food truck operator, it takes them about that long to set up or tear down. So the Institute for Justice's lawsuit, if they come out and they're victorious, could really change the landscape for food truck operators. And then if that doesn't come out in their favor for whatever reason, there is also a chance that there may be a new ordinance in city council here before the end of the year, early next year, that would address some of these big problems.
We need another Jon Favreau movie to romanticize food truck operators. And this comes on the heels of the fight that the Illinois Policy Institute took up on behalf of food cart operators.
Right, and that was a really, really ugly story, too. In that instance, this was the city oppressing a group of low-income, largely immigrant entrepreneurs. So food carts are the folks you see around the city selling fresh fruit or elotes, which is delicious Mexican corn.
So it's what I get at Comiskey Park every time I go.
Right, it's delicious. So these folks were actually banned from selling at all. And there had been a long-standing fight to overturn this ban, and finally in 2015 we were able to adopt an ordinance, work with city council to get them to adopt an ordinance to overturn the ban. The problem is though that for every inch you get with city council, there's always more work to do. Only 5 food carts are licensed, so as much as we want to celebrate and talk about how great it is, there's so much more work to be done. And the same thing with food trucks. Food trucks have been legal in Chicago for 4 years now, and look at all the problems we still have. So there's much more room to fight for improvement.
Chicago, the city that works unless you work.